Hello, and welcome to The Simple Health. I'm glad you're here. If you've been exercising, eating your protein, and even taking magnesium, but you're still not feeling stronger, you are not alone. It's a common frustration. Many people believe magnesium is the ultimate nighttime supplement for muscle growth. But what if I told you that focusing only on magnesium is like hiring just one worker to build an entire house? It's a start, but it's not the whole story. Tonight, I'm going to introduce you to two essential vitamins that act as your body's complete overnight construction crew, rebuilding your muscles while you're fast asleep. And you'll want to stay until the end, because I'll reveal a surprising reason why one of the most common, healthy vitamins can actually bring all that nighttime construction to a grinding halt if you take it before bed.
All right, let's bring in our expert construction crew. The first and most important member of our nighttime team is vitamin D3. I want you to think of vitamin D3 as the master switch or the construction foreman for your muscles. It's the one in charge, clipboard in hand, telling everyone what to do. Your muscle cells are designed with special docking stations, like tiny keyholes, called vitamin D receptors, or VDRs. When the active form of vitamin D, the Foreman, arrives and fits into these keyholes, it flips a switch inside the cell. This switch sends a powerful signal that tells your muscle to start the rebuilding process, what scientists call muscle protein synthesis. It's like the foreman giving the order to the workers. All right, team, the delivery of bricks and mortar, that's the protein you ate, has arrived. Let's get to work building these walls stronger than they were before. This process is what allows your muscle fibers to repair damage from your daily activities and grow stronger and more resilient overnight. Without the foreman on site, the building materials just sit there and no construction happens. This is especially critical for us as we get older because it's our best defense against a condition called sarcopenia. That's just the medical term for age-related muscle loss. It's the reason why tasks that were once easy can start to feel difficult. Severe vitamin D deficiency is like the foreman never showing up to the job site. The construction crew has no direction, and over time, the structure weakens. In your body, this leads to significant muscle weakness. Specifically, a lack of vitamin D affects our powerful, fast twitch muscle fibers. Think of these as your body's emergency responders. They're the fibers you use for quick, strong movements, like standing up from a chair without using your hands, or catching your balance if you trip on a rug. When these fibers weaken, our balance suffers, and our risk of a dangerous fall and fractures goes up dramatically. So keeping our foreman, vitamin D, on the job is essential for staying strong, steady on our feet, and independent. So the big question is, how much of this vital nutrient do we actually need? Your foreman needs clear instructions. According to the National Institutes of Health, the official recommendation, or recommended dietary allowance, for adults aged 51 to 70 is 600 international units, or IU, per day. Once you're over 70, that recommendation bumps up slightly to 800 IU per day. There's also a safety ceiling called the tolerable upper intake level, which is set at 4,000 IU per day. It's very important not to exceed this amount on your own without specific medical guidance. However, it's important to know that the science on this is always evolving. The latest high-quality research from large studies like the DO Health trial is giving us a more refined picture. These studies have shown that for healthy, active older adults who already have enough vitamin D, taking extra high doses doesn't really provide an additional benefit for muscle mass or preventing falls. It's like trying to overfill a gas tank that's already full. The real powerful benefits are almost exclusively seen in people who are correcting a pre-existing deficiency. You're filling a tank that was running on empty. This is exactly why I tell every single one of my patients, don't guess, get tested. Taking a supplement without knowing your levels is like trying to navigate a new city without a map. You might get lucky, or you might get completely lost. Ask your doctor for a simple blood test called a 25-hydroxy vitamin D test. This test gives you a precise measurement of your vitamin D levels. It removes all the guesswork and allows you and your doctor to create a perfect, safe plan to get you to the optimal level, not too little and not too much. Now, your construction foreman vitamin D is brilliant, but it can't do the job alone. It works best when it has a skilled and reliable team. Let me introduce you to its two most important helpers, vitamin K2 and magnesium. These are the specialists who make sure the foreman's plans are carried out perfectly. First up is vitamin K2, which I call the traffic cop of your body. This is truly fascinating. As we've discussed, vitamin D is a master at increasing calcium absorption from your food. But once that calcium gets into your bloodstream, it needs clear directions. Without guidance, it can end up in the wrong places. That's where vitamin K2 steps in. It activates a special protein called osteocalcin, which is like a green light directing calcium to go directly into your bones where it's needed to keep them strong. At the same time, K2 activates another protein called MGP. This protein acts like a stop sign, actively preventing calcium from building up in your arteries and soft tissues. This is how we solve the calcium paradox of aging, where our bones can become weak and porous while our arteries become stiff and calcified. K2 is the key to ensuring calcium strengthens your skeleton, not your blood vessels. And finally, there's magnesium, the activator. Yes, we're back to magnesium, but its role here is different than most people think. It's the key that turns on the ignition for vitamin D. All the enzymes in your liver and kidneys that are responsible for converting the vitamin D you get from supplements or the sun into its final active hormonal form are completely dependent on magnesium. If you're low in magnesium, your body simply cannot switch on the vitamin D. You could be taking the perfect dose, but without enough magnesium, it's like having a brand new car with a full tank of gas, but a dead battery. It's not going anywhere. If learning about this incredible team of nutrients and how they work together was helpful, please take just a moment to press the like button below. When you do that, you send a signal to YouTube that you find this information valuable, and it will help show you more videos like this to support you on your health journey. Now that our Foreman vitamin D is on the job site with the master plan, it's time to bring in the second member of our nighttime team, zinc. If vitamin D is the Foreman, I want you to think of zinc as the specialized toolkit. It's the complete set of high-quality wrenches, hammers, and power drills that the construction crew needs to actually do the work. You could have the best Foreman and the most detailed blueprints, but without the right tools, you can't build anything. Here's how it works. During the deepest phases of your sleep, your body releases powerful growth hormones. This is the signal for the major repair work to begin. But for this repair to happen, your body relies on hundreds of different enzymes. Think of enzymes as tiny, highly specialized biological machines. Some machines cut proteins into usable building blocks, while others assemble those blocks into new muscle tissue. Zinc is the essential component that powers these machines. Without enough zinc, these critical enzymes slow down or stop working altogether, and the muscle repair process grinds to a halt, no matter how much growth hormone your body releases. So let's talk about getting the right amount of these essential tools. The National Institutes of Health has set the recommended dietary allowance, or RDA, for adults over 50 at 11 milligrams per day for men and 8 milligrams per day for women. Now, just as with vitamin D, there is a very important safety ceiling, the tolerable upper intake level, which is 40 milligrams per day for all adults. This 40 milligram limit includes zinc from all sources, both the food you eat and any supplements you take. It's a ceiling I urge you not to go above without a doctor's supervision. This upper limit is extremely important because of a crucial interaction zinc has with another essential mineral, copper. Taking too much zinc over a long period of time can lead to a severe copper deficiency, and the way this happens is quite fascinating. Imagine your intestines are like a busy bus station, and both zinc and copper are passengers trying to get on a bus to your bloodstream. When you take high doses of zinc, it signals the cells lining your intestines to produce a special protein called metallothionein. Think of this protein as an overeager ticket taker at the station entrance. Now, this ticket taker was hired to manage the zinc passengers, but it has a much stronger attraction to the copper passengers. It will grab onto copper much more tightly than it does zinc. So as your food digests, this ticket taker grabs all the copper passengers and holds them inside the intestinal cell, preventing them from ever getting on the bus. Eventually, that intestinal cell, which has a very short lifespan, is shed from the body, and it takes all the trapped copper with it. Over time, this process can lead to a severe lack of copper, which can cause very serious problems like irreversible nerve damage and a type of anemia that can often be misdiagnosed. This is why more is not better. The right amount is better. Now, to make sure your body is getting and using this mineral effectively, it's important to know that not all zinc supplements are created equal. When you're at the store looking at the labels, you'll see many different forms, and the scientific evidence gives us a very clear hierarchy of which ones are the best. Your excellent top-tier choices are zinc citrate and zinc gluconate. Gold standard studies have shown that both of these forms are equally and highly absorbed by the body. They're like a high-quality, reliable power tool that you can count on to work every time. Zinc citrate has a couple of practical advantages. It tends to have a less metallic, more neutral taste, and because it contains a higher percentage of actual zinc, the pill itself can be smaller and easier to swallow. Another very good choice, especially if you're working to correct a long-term deficiency, is zinc picolate. Studies have shown that this form is particularly effective at increasing the body's long-term tissue stores of zinc. Think of it as not only providing the tools for tonight's job, but also efficiently stocking the warehouse for all the jobs to come. Finally, there is one form I want you to avoid: zinc oxide. This form is often found in cheaper multivitamins and sunscreens. The research is very clear that it has consistently poor and unreliable absorption in humans. To give you an idea, one key study found that for 20% of the participants, their bodies absorbed little to no zinc from zinc oxide at all. Using zinc oxide is like buying a cheap, poorly made tool that's likely to break the first time you use it. I do not recommend it for supplementation. Have you ever noticed these different forms of zinc like citrate or oxide on supplement labels and wondered what the difference was? Let me know in the comments below if this information helps clarify things for you. Reading about your experiences and questions really helps our entire community learn and grow together.
Okay, we've hired our expert overnight construction crew. We have our Foreman, vitamin D, and our specialized toolkit, Zinc. They are ready to get to work the moment you fall asleep. Now, we need to play the part of the responsible site manager and make sure we don't accidentally sabotage their work. We need to ensure the job site is clear, quiet, and ready for them. Let's talk about 3 popular supplements you should avoid in the evening to make sure our crew can work efficiently and without interruption all night long. First on our no list for the nighttime is the B vitamin complex. This is a very common one, as many people take a B complex or a multivitamin containing B vitamins for energy. They are absolutely right to do so, but the key is all in the timing. My simple, actionable rule for my patients is this: the sun is up, the bees are up. Take your B complex supplement with your breakfast or at the very latest with your lunch. I recommend a firm cutoff time of 2 p.m. After that, the bottle should stay in the cabinet until the next morning. Here's why this timing is so crucial. B vitamins are fantastic. They are essential for your metabolism, your nerve health, and your brain function. Their primary job is to help your body convert the food you eat into usable energy. Think of them as the workers in your body's power plant, shoveling fuel into the furnace to generate the electricity you need to power through your day. This is exactly what you want after you wake up. But taking them at night is like asking the power plant to run at full blast right when the city is trying to sleep. It's like drinking a cup of coffee or a very sugary soda right before you get into bed. The B vitamins, particularly B6 and B12, stimulate your central nervous system. They increase alertness and can even slightly raise your heart rate. This false sense of energy completely backfires when your goal is rest and repair. Remember, muscles are not built while you are active. They are built during deep, restorative sleep. This is the golden time when your body releases growth hormone and your muscle-building crew does its most important work. If your nervous system is still buzzing from B vitamins you took with dinner, it will be much harder for your body to enter and stay in those deep, slow-wave sleep cycles. You're essentially keeping the bright lights on and the loud music playing at the construction site all night long, preventing your expert crew from getting anything done. So let the B vitamins energize your day and let your nights be for quiet repair.
The second supplement to keep out of your evening routine is vitamin C. Now, this one often surprises my patients because vitamin C is arguably one of the most popular and respected vitamins in the world. We praise it for supporting our immune system and skin health, and it absolutely does a wonderful job at that. But again, when it comes to building muscle overnight, timing is everything. First, let's get a sense of how much we actually need. The recommended dietary allowance for adults over 50 is 90 milligrams for men and 75 milligrams for women. To put that in perspective, you can get your entire day's supply from eating one large orange or a single cup of broccoli. However, if you walk down the supplement aisle, you'll see bottles containing 500 or even 1,000 milligrams per tablet. These mega doses are far above what's needed to prevent a deficiency, and taking them at the wrong time can interfere with your body's repair schedule. There are two main reasons to avoid large doses of vitamin C at night. The first one is simple and practical. It can upset your stomach. Vitamin C is also known as ascorbic acid, and in high concentrations, it can be irritating to the digestive tract. For some people, taking a large dose right before lying down can lead to uncomfortable cramps, acid reflux, or even diarrhea, none of which are ingredients for a good night's sleep. The second reason is more subtle, but incredibly important for muscle repair. Your muscles actually need a tiny controlled amount of what we call oxidative stress after a day of activity to signal the start of the repair process. Think of it like a very sensitive smoke alarm in your muscle cells. The minor stress from your daily life, walking, lifting groceries, playing with grandkids, creates a tiny bit of smoke. This smoke triggers the alarm, which is the signal that calls your body's expert construction crew to the site to repair and rebuild the muscle fibers stronger than before. This signal is natural and necessary. However, vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant. When you flood your system with a large 1,000 milligram dose right before bed, it's like opening all the windows and turning on a giant fan in the room. It blows all the smoke away before the alarm can even sound. The signal is blunted, and the call for repairs never goes out. Your construction crew is left waiting in the barracks, and the opportunity for nighttime muscle growth is missed. So the rule is simple. Enjoy your vitamin C earlier in the day. Think of it as a morning shield for your immune system. Have that orange with your lunch or take your supplement after breakfast, not as a midnight snack. If you know someone who takes a lot of vitamins and might not be aware of how critical timing can be, please consider sharing this video with them. We all have that friend or family member with a counter full of supplements. A simple piece of information like this could make a huge difference in the quality of sleep and their ability to recover and feel strong. And the third and final item on our nighttime no list is perhaps the most common sleep saboteur of all, caffeine. Now, most of us think of caffeine as our morning coffee or tea, a helpful tool to get the day started, and when used that way, it's perfectly fine. The danger comes from its remarkable ability to linger in our system and its tendency to hide in foods and supplements where we least expect it. To understand this, we need to talk about a simple but powerful concept called half-life. The half-life of any substance is simply the time it takes for your body to process and eliminate half of it. Imagine you pour a full cup of coffee. The half-life is the time it takes for that cup to become half full. For a healthy young adult, the half-life of caffeine is typically around 5 to 6 hours. But here's a critical piece of information that every older adult needs to know. Research clearly shows that for healthy adults between the ages of 65 and 70, it takes, on average, 33% longer to metabolize that same amount of caffeine. Why does this happen? It's due to the natural age-related changes in our body, specifically in our liver. Your liver is the primary processing plant for substances like caffeine. As we age, the liver naturally decreases a bit in size and the blood flow to it becomes a little less robust. Think of it like a busy factory that, over the years, has become slightly smaller and has fewer delivery trucks on the road. The result is that the entire process of clearing caffeine from your system slows down. Now let's do some simple math to see what this really means for your sleep. If a 5-hour half-life in a younger person slows down by 33%, it can easily become a 6.5 or even 7-hour half-life as we get older. So let's imagine you have a cup of coffee at 3 p.m. to get through that afternoon slump. At 10 p.m., a full 7 hours later, when you are getting into bed and hoping to fall asleep, nearly half of that caffeine is still active and circulating in your bloodstream. This lingering caffeine acts like a bouncer at the door to deep sleep. It specifically blocks the receptors in your brain for a chemical called adenosine, which is the substance that naturally builds up during the day to make you feel sleepy. With caffeine blocking the way, your brain never gets the message that it's time to rest deeply. This means you spend less time in those critical slow-wave sleep cycles where your body releases growth hormone and your muscle-building crew does all of its repair work. Having caffeine in your system at night is like posting a "No Work Allowed" sign on the construction site door. This is why you have to become a caffeine detective. It isn't just in coffee and tea. You need to check the labels on other products, especially those you might consume in the afternoon or evening. Caffeine hides in dark chocolate, with higher cocoa percentages often containing more. It's a common ingredient in many over-the-counter pain relievers, especially those marketed for headaches or migraines. And it is a primary ingredient in almost all fat burner or pre-workout supplements. Also be mindful of sodas and even some green teas. The simple rule is to treat caffeine like the B vitamins. Keep it strictly in the morning and certainly no later than 2 p.m. to give your body the full 8 to 10 hours it needs to clear the way for a perfect night of deep muscle-building sleep.
So, the plan is simple. At night, we want to clear the way to support our body's natural repair process. We invite our expert Yes team to get to work. Vitamin D3 at the right dose for you, and zinc in a well-absorbed form. And we politely ask the No team to clock out by early afternoon. That's your B vitamins, high-dose vitamin C, and any hidden sources of caffeine. Most importantly, your health story is unique. The information I've shared today is a powerful starting point, but it is not a substitute for personalized medical advice. Before starting any new supplement, especially if you have conditions like kidney disease or are taking other medications, please have a conversation with your doctor or pharmacist. They can help you create a plan that is both safe and effective for you. And as always, I want to leave you with the most important health tip of all. Drink plenty of water. Every single process we discussed today, from absorbing these nutrients to your muscles repairing themselves overnight, depends entirely on it. It truly is the foundation of your health. If you found this simple, actionable approach helpful, please subscribe to The Simple Health. My goal is to give you clear, easy-to-use information every week to help you feel your absolute best. Thank you so much for your time today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.